Take 5 with RICOVIBES, the ultimate in entertainment. Live interviews, social commentary, and so much more. Go tell somebody. You're now locked into Take 5 with RICOVIBES. This episode of Take 5 with RICOVIBES is brought to you by
Memory Lane Sundays is now at a new location. 8 Rivers Event Space, 4407 Covington Highway, Indicator, starting February 16. John Wayne Movements and Jammy present Memory Lane Sundays. This and every Sunday night, 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. 8 Rivers Event Space. It's liming with a difference, with local and international DJs spinning your favorites. Enjoy great food and drinks on sale. Games like Ludo and Dominoes from 7 to 10 p.m. Want to celebrate your birthday? Come celebrate it with us at Memory Lane Sundays. We've got extra special birthday packages to make it an unforgettable celebration. This and every Sunday, 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. Memory Lane Sundays, 8 Rivers Event Space, 4407 Covington Highway, Indicator, 30035. Free entry and parking. Visit JohnWayneMovementsEvent.com. Call 404-454-2949 or 678-595-2374. Powered by John Wayne Movements and Jammy. Memory Lane Sundays. Don't miss it.
What's up, everybody? It's yours truly, RICOVIBES, and as you can see, Renee is fixing. The fashionistas is fixing. Well, welcome to Take 5, the Flavor Cafe with my co-host, Miss Renee. How are you?
Hello, I'm good.
How's your week going?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Pretty good. Busy week for me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I saw you on Saturday. You looked like you were having fun. You looked like you were high. No, I'm just kidding. That's just her normal days.
We were drinking red rum in the car.
Really?
I said red rum, white rum.
What? See, she was high.
Red rum.
There's a guy in New York named Red Rum.
There is someone named Red Rum.
DJ guy.
Right, white rum in the car. That's a tongue twister. White rum in the car.
White rum in the car.
Okay, yeah.
Got it. Okay. But yeah, that was at Bright Colors, and people was bright and festive.
Very. I saw a lot of stuff.
That's what we're gonna call it. Stuff. Okay.
At Bright Colors.
Yeah. What's the most interesting outfit you saw? Interesting outfit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
A girl?
Yeah.
The most interesting one I saw was Bad Cuban.
Yeah, very interesting. As well as what's my girl name? Jen Friday. Jen.
But I think she was coming from a wedding though. I don't think that was an outfit for that event. I think she was coming from a wedding at Nicole's wedding.
I think she.
Did she change? Because I thought I saw her in the outfit at the wedding on a video.
I'm not sure, but she had on like a blue thing with like a pink sneakers.
Yeah.
I think that was the most like out there, funky, but still
for the theme.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of liked it because it was like me. I love dress and sneakers. I just love that. So I think that was like funky and cool.
Okay.
I like that. It was cool.
Niga's outfit was kind of nice too. The yellow. I guess he matches his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guess, yeah.
So hey, it was some interesting outfits. Put it that way.
Yeah, a lot.
Some interesting outfits, but it's bright colors, so they did. Most folks came to the theme.
And Maxine did her thing.
And Maxine is always, of course.
She always does her thing. Yes.
Maxine is the life of the party, man.
Yep.
And Maxine is always like Switzerland. No matter what's going on, Maxine is always the life of the party.
Neutral.
She's neutral.
Yep.
So it's unbelievable. This guy named Kirk sent me a DM to talk about something, and before him, a couple other people talked to me about this same thing. So I figured let's just address it, let it out of the bag, and call it a day.
Okay.
And what it is, they're talking about parking or parking fees, and people paying for parking in the Caribbean parties. And he went into a whole thing about, is it the venue that asking the promoters to charge for the parking, or is it the promoters trying to subsidize,
cost,
make more money
Yeah.
or cost of whatever it is to rent the clubs or whatever.
Yeah.
And first of all, let me just make a disclaimer. When you go downtown Atlanta, it's mandatory you pay for parking. And for some reason, us Caribbean folks don't have a problem paying for parking downtown. We don't have a problem paying for parking at Rum Punch because there's no free parking around Rum Punch.
Correct.
Right?
Unless you're working there.
Unless you're one of the workers.
Yeah.
When I go downtown to do a gig, let's say in one of the hotels or whatever the case may be, I pay for parking.
Yeah.
So for some reason we have an issue. We don't have an issue paying for parking downtown, but we have an issue paying for parking in our Caribbean community. So what do you think?
I'm going to play devil's advocate first. And I'm going to say maybe the thought process is that's why we don't go downtown.
Okay.
Because we don't want to pay for the parking. And a lot of the venues here on our side,
on the east
Bliss side, whatever, most of them have the parking where we can come. There's a parking lot and you just park.
Right.
And sometimes I think it's kind of crazy when this party you pay for parking and the next party you don't pay for parking.
At the same venue.
At the same venue. And it's a little inconsistent. I can get with that. But then again, if you're coming out to party, don't come out if you don't have it. So I can see the two-way, and then I can see the promoters as well saying, okay, well,
we pay this
y'all
much
don't
want to
pay at the door.
Right.
Y'all don't want to pay at the bar.
Right.
So I got to do what I got to do kind of thing. So.
Well, see, the other side of that coin that Kirk was saying is that, and a couple other people said this as well. If you're paying $30, $40 for parking, this is before you even get to the door.
Right.
Okay. And then you pay another $40 at the door. So you've now spent $80, $100 before you even get inside the club. Right? That's a concern, of course. Would they have an issue paying $10 and $10 even all night for parking? Who knows?
Okay. Right.
Okay.
Right.
But generally, parking starts at $20.
$20, yeah.
And sometimes it goes up to $40 for parking.
And don't have like a Bentley you want to park in the front.
Correct.
Ugh.
So I've heard people complain about the parking at Terrence's event up at E Hall. They complain about my parking, but I didn't know that they were charging $40. So when I heard that they were charging $40, I told them, no, you can't charge $40.
Okay.
So I shouldn't see a problem with 20 or even 10 or 20.
10 or 20.
Right.
I agree.
Right.
I agree with that.
If you have valet parking, of course, you got to pay for that. But in answer to what Kirk said, he said, well, if I'm paying $40 or $50 or $80 before I get to the door, then that's going to lessen what I buy at the bar. So his argument was, do you prefer to make more money at your bar, or do you prefer for me to get turned off before I even get inside? And I said, forget it, I'm just buying one drink. Because he says that, which he does, he spends a good $200-$300 every time he goes to a party at the bar.
At the bar.
Mm-hmm. Right. The other side of that coin is a lot of people will say, well, I'm gonna buy liquor at the bar. I never do.
That's true too.
So do you try to make that money before you get inside on the off chance that you're going to try to get in for free and not spend at the bar? Or do you take that chance that they're going to spend at the bar because they got more money in their pocket?
Yeah, it's kind of
6 of one, half a dozen of the other, right?
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? Because it's a very good argument.
Topic, yeah.
Very good topic. It's a very good point. If the venue generally don't charge for parking, but the promoter decides to charge for parking, the venues are generally $2,500 and up.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. So sometimes you don't make that at your door to pay to justify paying $2,500 or $3,000 for the parking. For the venue. Right.
Oh,
so from a promoter standpoint, you've got overhead.
Yeah.
You've got security to pay. You got police to pay.
Bottle
girls to pay.
Photographers, videographers,
stuff like that. So, and then before all that, you got to rent the venue. You maybe have decorators to pay. you know, so on and so forth. You got a sound system. If there's no sound system in the venue, you've got a sound system to pay. How do you generate all this money and still walk away with a profit?
With a profit.
Because at the end of the day, you're not doing this for your health.
It's
You're doing
supposed
this
to
in
make
hopes
money. It's
of
a
making
business.
a profit. It's a business.
Yeah.
So it's in hopes, and, you know, sometimes you fly in DJs. You know, you got to pay for the airline ticket. You got to pay the DJs, of course, and you got to put them up in a hotel. So these are all overhead that the average person will not see, but has to be paid.
Right.
So,
Right.
you know, where does that money come from? Where do you generate that money? Okay, so tell us what you think. Give us your opinion of what you think. Obviously,
And then
you know,
and then you have the people who they're kind of being punished for everybody who just necessarily they don't know anybody. They don't know. They can't pinch nobody and get in. They can't pinch nobody and get a parking. They can't pinch nobody and get a drink. And they gotta pay the $40 parking, pay the $40, go and buy their bottle, buying it, and then probably if they want to buy a hookah. Partying is expensive.
it's expensive. It's expensive. So that's why you see the numbers are down when it comes to, you know, very few of us get the numbers that we'd like to get.
Yeah.
You know, inside the venue, because it's just down all the way around.
And the economy is horrible. So who really has that much? My daughter just came home today. She got onto the varsity cheerleading squad, and I have to pay.
Congratulations! I saw that.
Yeah, I have to pay $1,800.
Are you serious? For what? For the
All
uniform?
type of uniform, gears, this, that. So by the time you factor in those kind of stuff, the expenses you have at home before you can even go out and get a drink and clear your mind, you have
all these
everything else in the back of your brain, you know, and then you come out to put down $200 for a bottle of whatever so you and your friends can have a great time.
Yeah.
It's tough.
And then the other side of that, speaking of the $200 bottle, there's some promoters who genuinely are upset at some people that don't drink and don't buy bottles, quote unquote. You know, I've heard promoters says to me, you know, well, he doesn't drink, so he doesn't contribute nothing. You know, he should buy a bottle and just give it away to a girl.
Oh.
Just for buying a bottle's sake.
Okay.
And that's another thing. Like if I don't drink or a person don't drink, why should they have to be forced to buy a bottle just to give it to someone to please you?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So even if this person,
I didn't know.
Yeah, even if this person or persons decide to pay at the door, whatever you're charging,
right, which should be their contribution,
right. which is their contribution.
Yeah.
But if they come in, they pay at the door. You don't see them pay at the door, but they come inside and they're not drinking. You say, well, what are you contributing to the party? But they paid at the door, and a lot of people I know will pay at the door because they don't drink.
Because they don't drink, so they make sure that.
Whatever
you have going on at the door, they paid that.
Right, but there are a lot of promoters who has issues with that, and will not come back to that person's party
events because they don't drink.
Because they don't drink. So I'm not going to come. Or if they do come to the party, they're going to limit
what they
spend.
Because that person doesn't spend it.
And I didn't realize that it was a real thing until I was having a conversation with somebody this past Saturday at a party. And they was, you know, kind of telling me, well, this is because this person doesn't contribute nothing. They just take. And I'm saying, but I didn't even bother going to say, but I know for a fact that person pays.
At the door.
At the door.
Every time.
I didn't even bother going to, I just listened.
So what is it? Okay, so they want them. Okay, I guess
they want
them to buy the bottle.
Don't think that you're contributing
if you're not buying a bottle.
If you're not buying a bottle, if you don't have a table or a section. That's what this has come to. If you don't have a table with a bucket and a bottle or a section, they don't think you're contributing. If you pay your hard-earned $20, $30, $40, $50, they don't consider that a contribution. Because they're not physically seeing you pay at the door.
No. You guys got to do better.
You got to do better.
You got to do better. Because sometimes, I think we were talking about it, sometimes people genuinely don't even come out for the excitement.
No.
Sometimes people come out to clear their brain from whatever's going on at home.
Yes.
You should be able to come out, get a drink or two.
And not feel guilt guilty
if you don't buy a bottle.
For me personally, the mixed drinks for me
are more
and adds up more.
If somebody go and buy 5 mixed drinks,
it sometimes work out to be more. But there's just this thing about bottles. Bottles. So, again, we're not bashing anyone. We're just bringing concerns of what I hear on a day-to-day basis going to parties. And, I don't drink, so I listen keenly. And I retain what I'm listening to, and I remember what I'm listening to.
Yeah, you plugged in.
And I'm plugged in, and I watch what's going on. And sometimes, people now are saying, well, I'm not going to do that, Rico, because I don't want you to talk about it on the show. But I talk about what needs to be talked about. I'm not going to bring any scandal.
A concern,
These are things that needs to be talked about because people are concerned about it. And, of course, people are DMing me and saying, you need to talk about this. One of the other things I wanted to talk about as well is the soca scene versus the reggae scene, right? The soca scene, in the years that I've been observing it, they do not support reggae scene parties as much as the reggae scene people support soca scene parties.
I agree.
If you put a soca DJ on a reggae scene party and think that the soca people are going to follow that DJ, absolutely not. They're not going to.
I agree.
You understand me? But the soca scene, the reggae scene people will pack up in soca parties. In Demolition Crew Cooler Fed.
I have seen soca scene drop flyers days before, 2-3 days before, and pack out Bliss. They don't play, but when it comes, I agree.
They do not.
I agree.
Soca scene people, correct me if I'm wrong, y'all do not support reggae scene parties the way reggae scene supporters support soca scene parties. And it has nothing to do with the DJs.
You have like a few people that is
There's a few.
There's a few people that you always see them, but majority
of them
of the
are very segregated, and they stay in the soca community.
But maybe there's a reason. If there's a reason,
if there is, let us know.
Yeah, if there's a reason, tell us. Maybe we can fix it so that the reggae scene parties could look like the soca scene parties. I know for a fact that the reggae scene parties don't have the same vibe. I can get that.
It doesn't.
I can get that.
Soca scene people comes out to party.
And have fun and jump up and down and throw water in the air and
model.
They come out to model and floss
and all that stuff. We get that.
I get that.
The majority of the reggae scene parties, I should say.
But they have some really nice reggae scene parties that you guys can attend to. Soca, even like those ones like Hot Topic and they have some really nice.
Even Bright Colors was a
Bright
nice
Colors
mixture
is a good
of DJs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I remember back in the day, promoters used to put, the Spoogies, the Uniques, those type of people thinking that they're gonna bring out
pull the other side,
the soca scene folks.
Nope.
They did not.
Nope.
And it has nothing to do with the DJs. Zero to do with the DJs.
They're not following
the DJs are good DJs. They're just not.
They more follow brands.
They follow brands and they follow promoters.
Yeah, they follow the what you call it, the like this type of season when the carnival season coming up when Dirty Fet and Red Fet and Red SSS and la 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 la.
Exactly.
All of those they gonna be packed to capacity. Yeah. Have you ever been to SSS? Oh no, SS Red or SSS?
I've always worked someplace else, but I know who keeps it. But I've always worked someplace else. Parties like Epic.
Yeah,
that's a good party, but it's a partly soca, partly reggae, partly dance or whatever. Those get supported because they got a lot of people coming from out of town. Plus, people look forward to that party. Caution is another one. You understand what I'm saying? The breakfast parties. Another ones. Which is a mixture. Illuminate and those type of parties.
But mostly, even the twins parties, Blossom.
What's the other one? What's the other one? I went to it last year, so I forgot the name of it. But the twins parties, the twin are a unique set of promoters / DJs because they get support from both sides. But that's far and few in between. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my whole thing is, what is the problem with the reggae scene parties where reggae scene people support soca scene promoters and parties way more than soca scene promote reggae scene, support reggae scene parties.
Yeah.
I want to know. I'm really genuinely want to know.
Because even Carnival is a soca thing, but you have Reggae-matic as a full reggae band on the road supporting Carnival, and then you have dancehall, the reggae scene people scattered throughout, the other bands and stuff, and they come and they pay those because those costumes are
extremely expensive. I remember years ago there was certain persons in the soca scene community that was saying that reggae and dancehall does not belong in Carnival. Obviously, that has changed, I would think, because Jamaica has one of the biggest carnivals right now in the Caribbean. So I think that's a changed. But the purists and the Trinis, I'm probably going to get stoned for this, but the Trinis think that they own Carnival. And they don't have the biggest carnival in the world. I think Brazil has the biggest carnival in the world.
I think it's Brazil for real. Yeah.
So, what would possess them to think that reggae and dancehall does not belong? It's all a Caribbean culture. It's all a cultural thing.
Now,
I would think.
What I can say though, I played with a band, and I will tell you that. No, let me not even go there. Let me start here. I did Juve with Reggae-matic. I think it was last year. And it's funny because they will say that and all end up at the Reggae-matic truck.
Right.
They will have their bands jumping up, but all of them, everybody end up right back at the Reggae-matic
because the Reggae-matic plays reggae and soca, right?
They play everything,
Right. But the other bands play
just
soca.
Strictly soca.
Right. So what does that tell you? Okay.
They all end up surrounding Reggae-matic truck.
Right.
Juve.
So enlighten us. We'd like to know. Really, genuinely would like to know. What's the problem with soca scene people supporting reggae scene parties, just like we on the reggae scene support soca scene parties? Because when Demolition Crew Cool Effect comes up, 90% of the reggae scene goes to Demolition Party.
Yep. Everybody goes there. Yeah. That's a party that, if there's a party on that same night, everybody always go, why would you do that?
Yep.
Why would you do that?
The only thing that's saving them now is that Cool Effect party starts early and ends early. That's the only thing. But you used to end at 4 or 5 o'clock where they just lock off the night.
Yep.
Just lock off the night.
Yep.
So, so I want to know. Let us know in the comments down below what you think. And maybe there's something that we're missing that we're not picking up on.
I can't think of it. And they can't say that it's like the behavior, because
soca scene parties wild.
Y'all be acting out at the soca.
Yeah, they're wild.
Let's not go there, because y'all be having incidents.
Yes.
So don't say that it's because reggae scene parties is this and that or whatever. Really and truly, maybe in the past year, I can't think of anything major on the reggae scene, but the soca scene.
There's been some stuff. There's been some stuff.
There's
been some stuff.
We want to know.
Yeah.
We want to know.
But again, this is something that folks want to know genuinely in the community. Because I've had DMs that said that. I've heard discussions, just private discussions that ask those questions.
Yeah, and even from a promoter's point of view, if people are trying to grow their brand and try to attract you guys, where you guys can come in and enjoy what we have to offer as well.
Right.
What do you need?
Right.
What is it lacking?
Right.
Right.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, like as you said, they want to go to brand. They want to go to brand.
But
yes,
I was asked a question.
Okay. Will you ask it to ask it on the show?
Yeah.
Okay. This
the question is, they have promoter. I don't know if it's a question or a statement, but let's just put it out there. There's promoters who, in order to pull in the crowd, they put on their flyers, this giveaway, this prize, this to the best dress. And at the end of the night, number one the competition or whatever it is never done, or you have a contest or whatever on your flyer, but the workers
wins it
are not paid.
Or the workers not paid.
You have workers who have not been getting their money, but you have a competition going on.
And they do give away that money for the competition.
If the money is given away for the competition, there's workers who's not being paid. Wow. Or you have a competition on your flyer, the party's going on throughout the night, and it never gets addressed in the party at all.
And people showed up for that. One of the reasons
I'm guessing
okay.
Such and such to the best dress, or such and such to the nakedest person, or such and such to the, and you turn around and who was the judge? Who won? Where's the money?
Has that happened recently?
I don't know.
But it was brought up to you, so we addressed it because it was brought to her attention. But I've known of some competition that never happened.
Yeah.
And
I've known of a lot.
They were saying that there wasn't enough people there for the competition.
But it shouldn't matter.
It shouldn't matter,
if
right?
two people come, the best of the two should get it.
Right. Yeah, no, you're right.
I agree.
You're right. Okay. That's an interesting one. That make me have to go look back at flyers now. Oh, man.
So promoters, the question is, are you just, do you not have the whatever it is you're promising and just putting it out there?
That's false advertising if that's the case.
That's false advertising.
Yeah. 100% false advertising.
Yeah.
So let that be a lesson, promoters. If you can't afford to do or give away something, don't put it on the flyer.
Don't do it, because a lot of time they're not even asking for it. You're volunteering that, and then turning around and not doing it.
Yeah.
Somebody come out for whatever it is that you're giving out. Oh, I could wear the nakedest. I'm gonna come naked. And the competition never happened.
Is there such a thing as Bears Your Day anymore? Because they've done those parties, but people didn't really come out bare. Although I think seeing a woman in more clothing nowadays is sexier than naked.
Agreed.
To me.
Agreed.
Leave a little something to our imagination. But the younger the folks are, the more naked they come out.
Ladies, do better, and don't let these promoters entice y'all to do foolishness. Please stop. Promoters, I get it. But ladies, please keep it together.
I mean, the promoters will only go as far as
the summer's coming up. Keep it together.
Yeah. What's the latest thing for the summer? What's the latest style? Is it anything naked?
Did you see Twisted Spirits' flyer?
The promo? No, I didn't. Is it naked?
It's like. Wait. It's like. It looks like this wet T-shirt contest kind of thing going on.
Are you serious?
I am.
Do they have a wet T-shirt contest?
I can't wait. It doesn't say that. No, it doesn't say that.
Okay.
But I can't wait because.
Are you going?
Yeah. Oh, we're doing the hookahs there.
Oh, okay.
So come to smoke a hookah at Twisted. And Twisted Spirits is another one of those events. Like.
That's June 14th, right?
Love it. Yes.
June 14th.
Oh my God!
Because you know what, they have the energy. The energy alone there is always different. The DJs, they normally have a couple of different DJs on their lineup, so it's always different.
It is.
And some parties, you just the vibe is always different.
Because people come to Twisted Spirits, it just knowing that first of all they come in to get drunk. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, it's fun drunk.
Twisted quote.
It's fun drunk. Yeah. And the bartender guy that they have there, the 2 times that I've been there, he's such a vibe.
He is.
He is such a vibe.
I think he is
Twisted Spirit. Agreed.
He is Twisted Spirit. If he's not there, it's not the same.
It's not the same. He has to be there in every single time. Yeah. Because I'm trying to find the flyer.
What's his name? I forgot his name. But anyway, yeah, he has to be there. He makes Twisted Spirit.
Oh, it's Girls Gone Wild.
Oh.
It's Girls Gone Wild, Twisted Spirits.
You remember those old videos, Girls Gone Wild?
And it used to be like the late night commercial.
We're showing how old we are. Because I haven't seen those in years.
They're gone now. But Girls Gone Wild used to be crazy. Yeah. After they had the TV turned off by a certain time.
Yeah. 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Girls
Girls
gone wild.
going wild. And you say, ah.
And you see the blacked out.
Censored.
Yeah, those were the days, man. Those were the Freaknik days and all that.
Freaknik. And it was the one on BET? Uncut.
Mm-hmm. They used to have uncut videos, music videos too. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Anyway, just let us know your comments. Let us know what you think. We've touched on a couple of topics. So just let us know. You know. And the final one is, do you have a work husband? Sorry.
Well, I work at home, so my work husband is my home husband as well.
Okay. But when did you ever work in an office or environment type of thing?
I have worked in an office environment type of thing.
Did you have a work husband then, or work boyfriend then?
I won't lie. I've had a work husband, but that's when I don't have a real somebody.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Like when we're in the office, we're kind of together. Like everybody knows that that's my
really?
guy.
But you didn't do nothing.
But after work, don't ever speak to me. You know.
Yes. So is such a thing as a work husband.
Of course, there's a work thing, and you buy each other lunch, or y'all go to lunch together.
Gotcha.
Or y'all make sure that y'all schedules is, I'm about to go to lunch. All right, give me 5 minutes. All right, and you working tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, but like extreme, no, not extreme.
Not extreme. Do you have a work husband or work wife? And what's the limits of a work husband and a work wife?
I think that it's gonna depend on the person, because everyone has different boundaries.
Gotcha.
Because sometimes the work husband and the real husband clashes. Yeah.
That's if the work husband likes
in real life.
In real life.
Yeah.
That's interesting. On that note, we're going to end it there with the topics. We're going to end it there with the topics.
I have one thing to say before we finish, guys. I mean, we have parties year round, but Rum Punch is a very big event where I'm noticing where if you guys are sick, stay home.
Did you get sick at Rum Punch?
No, I didn't get sick at Rum Punch. I have before, not this season. Well, this season just started last season. If you're sick, it's okay to miss a Rum Punch or to miss an event. Any event, it's okay to miss an event if you don't feel good.
Yeah.
If you have symptoms, stay home of anything. Like I heard people saying, "Oh, yeah, I just got over COVID 2 days ago, and I'm going to Rum Punch." Don't do it, guys.
Rum Punch, I guess, is addictive. I understand that they've kind of outgrown the place from what I'm hearing.
Oh, yeah. From last season.
Wow.
I was surprised that they was in the same venue this season, but...
Hey, it's best to pack it out and, versus having a big place and you can't pack it out. Although I think wherever Rum Punch goes, they'll pack it out.
Rum Punch is doing its thing. And I believe, because remember, they have the upstairs, the garden, the downstairs. Yeah. So even if they get a bigger venue, everyone would probably just pack into one
small space.
And it'll still be packed out. Yeah. But guys, if you're sick...
Shout out to Drega, man. Big up to Drega and the crew, because that's one homegrown brand that I'm very proud of.
I remember when Rum Punch was in I don't remember the venue.
Up in Gwinnett. Where they started in Gwinnett.
And
then they went
then they went to that first
Auburn,
place downtown.
Auburn, Sound Table, I think it was.
I think, yes. I think it's that one.
Yeah.
And everybody, I'm talking about, if you needed to go to the bathroom at Rum Punch, just forget about it.
Really?
Oh my God. To get to the bathroom, by that time, you done already did whatever you had to do on yourself.
Wow.
Oh gosh. Yeah. But it's way better now as far as getting to the restrooms and it's packed, but you can get there. You can get there.
Well, all I'm saying, I love it because it's a homegrown brand.
I love Rum Punch.
So Rum Punch Brunch, Never Sober, Beer Vibes.
Beer Vibes.
What's the other one? With Kevin and them one.
Sunday. Sunday. Oh.
How can we forget that? We're stumped. Marlon.
Brain freeze.
Yeah, brain freeze.
Brain freeze.
Anyway, Kevin and Marlon
Escape Sundays. Escape
Sundays.
Sundays.
That's why it's good to have a Escape Sundays. Those 4 are really good homegrown brands that I love, and we love to see them grow.
Yep.
You know, I understand they're only going to have 2 or 3 Escape Sundays this year, though. They're going to cut back on them because, for whatever reasons, you know.
And I think they changed now, isn't it, on Saturdays?
Well, no, I think they'd keep the last one on Saturday, but it's still quote unquote
Sundays.
Escape Sunday.
Okay.
It's just that, you know, people. It's an all inclusive. It's a bring your own bottle, BYOB, but people still asking to come in for free. People still expect to come in for free. So how do you expect them to make money? And Escape is an elaborate setup. That's not a cheap setup.
Nope.
So it costs. You know what I'm saying? So people don't get it.
Yeah.
People don't get it.
Guys, I think what it. Oh.
Oops.
Rico. But
Oops.
I think what we have a misunderstanding on the reggae scene where it's like you're more important if you can get into a party
For free.
for free. You're the important set of people on the reggae scene. And I think we need to get out of that concept where
everybody is somebody, but everybody think they're more than what they are.
Yeah, like call whoever, tell them that it's such and such at the door. Who cares? I'm throwing an event, and I want you to pay to come inside. If you want to come talk to me, pay and come inside and come talk to me, right? Let's get out of that mindset.
Pay, and they'll come inside and say, you know, I paid.
Me don't pay for coming. That's what you were supposed to do.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
Say? You know, like, what do you expect me to say?
I mean, there's some people that you're not gonna have them pay. Your photographers, your bottle girl, obviously, but don't complain. Or if somebody comes to the door and say you good, whatever, take that as a gesture, but don't think every party you should be
Just
expected to get in. Stop it, and not everybody has you. Yeah, you're not important if you're getting in free. Let's start there. It's the people who's paying that really matters. Because if everybody's getting in free, there would be no parties. Think about it, guys.
On that note, make sure to subscribe to the channel. That's youtube.com/RICOVIBES. Of course, if you want to book Renee and
Renee Campbell on Facebook, Kaleido Smokes Hookah on IG.
There you go. And if you want to book Popsy, of course, that's the boss. Well, she'll tell you. DJ Popsy, that's the boss.
DJ Popsy Ranks on IG.
There you go. We'll catch you next week on another edition of Take 5. We out.
This episode of Take 5 with Rico Vibes is brought to you by
Memory Lane Sundays is now at a new location. 8 Rivers Event Space, 4407 Covington Highway in Decatur, starting February 16. John Wayne Movements and Jammy present Memory Lane Sundays. This and every Sunday night, 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. 8 Rivers Event Space. It's liming with a difference with local and international DJs spinning your favorites. Enjoy great food and drinks on sale. Games like Ludo and Dominoes from 7 to 10 p.m. Want to celebrate your birthday? Come celebrate it with us at Memory Lane Sundays. We've got extra special birthday packages to make it an unforgettable celebration. This and every Sunday, 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. Memory Lane Sundays, 8 Rivers Event Space, 4407 Covington Highway in Decatur, 30035. Free entry and parking. Visit JohnWayneMovementsEvent.com. Call 404-454-2949 or 678-595-2374. Powered by John Wayne Movements and Jammy. Memory Lane Sundays. Don't miss it.